Hi friends, welcome back. ISRO is going big. Chandrayaan-3, Aditya L1, Gaganyaan featuring सोमनाथ सर. अरे वाह, चलो वीडियो शुरू करते हैं. वीडियो शुरू करने से पहले अगर आप चैनल पर नए हो और आपने अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो जल्दी से पहले सब्सक्राइब के बटन और बेल आइकन को क्लिक कर लो ताकि आपको हमारे सारे न्यू वीडियोस के नोटिफिकेशन मिल जाए जैसे हम अपलोड करें.
अगर आपको वीडियो पसंद आता है प्लीज़ लाइक शेयर. चलिए शुरू करते हैं.
23rd of August. No one can forget this date. How was your feeling?
I was relaxed at this moment. I know it's going to happen because I knew prior to 120 minutes itself it's going to land.
That's the most savage answer. In Pakistan, Suparco started 1961. Today, there's no match.
Infrastructure, technology, knowledge, etc. are important. But more than that, it is an inspiration element.
India is inspiring everyone globally. They are not able to do it.
No, it's not proper to say they are inefficient.
It is the power of Nari Shakti. What's your take on this?
They have a certain ability to concentrate much better than men.
Women are better multitaskers.
They are better in some areas.
There are a few websites online claiming to sell the land on the moon.
It's not possible. I can also give a certificate to you. Will you take it?
I would love to take it. Are there aliens or not?
Okay. I will say yes, they are as brilliant as you, intelligent as you. They have developed to a level. I am very sure about they are there. Human beings will start traveling to moon and Mars. Space tourism will come up. Going to Mars and settling a colony could be a possibility. चलिए शुरू करते हैं.
It's an honor to be here because हम सब ने लाइव देखा था चंद्रयान को लैंड होते हुए. आपसे बात करने का भी मौका मिला है. I'm sure this is definitely the best time to start. The moment I came in here इस facility में सर, it's a different world altogether. We saw
अच्छा, ये उनकी फैसिलिटी है. मैं वही कहती थी, अच्छा बैकग्राउंड और ये सब कहाँ से. I thought इन्होंने बनाया है उनके आने के लिए.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming and for talking.
ये ISRO में ही होगा.
Simple question, sir. Can you just give me a brief about your journey at ISRO?
My personal journey.
Yeah.
Of course, it started way back in 1985 when I was a student. I was offered a job in ISRO through a announcement of call for coming in. I got an appointment order even before my passing out of the college.
अरे वाह.
That was in pre-semester earlier. So
क्या किया?
the appointment letter said that if I pass the exam or the final exam, then I can come and join. So we were all waiting for the results to come out, and the next day of the results coming out and the degree certificate available, I joined ISRO.
Okay.
Along with me, many other people joined. So that was a period of our PSLV development happening.
Yes.
PSLV was still on paper, still going to take shape. So the journey of me in the early part was in the PSLV program. It took almost 10 years to convert from the idea of on the paper to the real rocket, which you are seeing today, the PSLV. So I worked for almost 10 years in PSLV project until its first successful mission. That was the second flight of the PSLV. So I was in charge of the integration of various stages, a lot of designs, things like that, and a lot of testing, traveling all across the country, doing a lot of things. Okay, I don't want to go into those nitty-gritty details. But then later, again, I took a break away from PSLV, came back to PSLV once again to handle a different type of job, which was more of commercial satellites launching in PSLV.
Okay.
So enabled that capability into PSLV, and we were successful to do a lot of upgradation of PSLV, bringing it to launch multiple satellites, etc. Meantime, I was given the job to work on the new rocket, which you are seeing here, the LVM-3. So I became the member secretary of the team to write the project report of it. We worked almost 2 years along with my boss, Mr. Ramakrishnan, and at the end of it, by 2002, we had the project report approved, and I moved to this project of designing this new rocket. So that went through for another 14 years of work, long years of work in various capacities, doing a lot of things from sketching the parts in this to actually realizing, testing, flying, conducting hundreds and hundreds of tests across the country, manufacturing, assembling, etc., engineering, and finally I became the mission director of this rocket. By the end of its last phase, last 3-4 years, I was the mission director and had the first launch happening under my leadership. Great thing to happen.
Yes.
After that, I moved into various other domains. I became deputy director in various domains within the center. I became sufficiently senior enough to handle many other jobs like mechanisms, pyrotechnics, integration, so propulsion. So with that background, I became the associate director of the center when I worked, where I worked, the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center.
जी.
Then I moved on to the director of liquid propulsion system center, where I worked on the C-25 engine of this,
कितने
which was not yet
अलग-अलग
proven
चीजों
by
के
the
जाके
time. So
फिर
I worked there for almost 4 years to
Wow.
complete many things, including the Chandrayaan engine development program, the C-25 engine development program. I came back to VSSC as its director. Again, worked there for almost 4 years. Then after that, I moved to become the chairman, ISRO secretary. So that's my career progression. Of course, through this, so many things happened in terms
Yeah.
of work. Through this, I would have seen at least 60 launches for PSLV, GSLA Mark III in my career.
Yes.
Participated in so many activities, so many responsibilities,
Yes.
administrative, technical, organizational, building facilities. So
Sir, I think
mentoring people, all of that.
it's safe to say that you had the best college placement.
हाँ, कौन सा कॉलेज था वही तो मैं पूछ
I
रही
don't
हूँ
know whether that
Wow,
along with me there
immediately
were
before even
from
passing
my class itself there were
Yeah.
5 others and
Wow.
many other colleges. So
कौन सा कॉलेज है
all of them
भाई
enjoyed the same privilege.
And it's almost 40 years now.
Almost 40.
85 to, yeah.
Almost 40.
I was born in 1991. Sir. So, was it always that you wanted to pursue this field? Because
अरे मैं 1991
what I
में
can
पैदा
understand
हूँ
is it's definitely no joke. This is the real rocket science. बहुत मुश्किल है. It's a very special domain to get into. While growing up, जब आप 10th में थे या 8th standard में थे, उस time पे how was the mind working and what were you trying to?
I was fascinated by space even when I was a student in schools. I used to be a science, very good at science. I used to be the school topper, even the state topper in science and mathematics in my schools. In fact, in my 10th standard, I was the topper in the state in science, physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, along with two of my friends. So,
वो भी होंगे
and then I wanted to study electronics. In fact, that was my hobby during my school days. But unfortunately, I couldn't become an electronics engineer. I became a mechanical engineer.
So that's the best thing, I think.
Maybe. Then, of course, during my engineering study, I have a fascination for space and rockets. In fact, I wanted to study propulsion, in which was not offered in my college. So I found some teacher who was willing to take that subject. So we asked
This
him to.
time around, which year was
That
this?
was in 1984.
84. Okay.
Yeah. So
ये
we
तो पता ही
studied
नहीं
that
हुआ
as a specialization. 10 of my classmates joined to create that teaching. So it shows that time
But he
itself I
doesn't
was
look
interested
that old
in
as compared
propulsion,
to
rockets,
him.
etc. Of course, going to Vikram Sarabhai Space Center was a dream for me because I know that organization as a very prominent place of science and engineering. I didn't want to get into business, marketing, sales, or for that type of engineering jobs. I wanted to be a core engineer where I can do something of my own, creating something new. So always I was interested in doing creatively something. So that was a fascination. So when I joined ISRO also, I asked where you want to go. They asked me where you want to work. I said, I want to go where there are things happening place.
There's real work happening.
Yeah, real work. So they put me in the PSL project, which was the happening place at that time. So thanks to their help for me put at the right place, I saw the great mentors. So I must say that I was fascinated by science and exploration, planetary system, space, etc. in my childhood. Used to be a
पर
very good
mechanical
science
engineering से
quiz, and
space
things like
Yes,
that.
yes.
So all of this.
कर सकते हैं
क्योंकि उनका physics वो science से strong
all
था
throughout the
space।
journey, I can safely assume कि आपको बहुत सारे medals मिले होंगे, multiple gold medals and all across till now. But I believe so the biggest medal we have is right here.
क्या है
23rd of
Chandrayaan.
August. No one can forget
मुझे
this
कोई
date,
मेडल
sir.
पड़ा है
How was
वही, Chandrayaan.
your feeling? I mean,
Landing.
हम सब टीवी के सामने थे. Almost
रुला दिया था यार
like it was the highest ever viewership on YouTube for any live
True,
streams.
yeah, it was one of the highest.
And it's not about the number of streams, it's about कि हर screen के सामने there are 10, 15, 20 people
Like a
watching in a
T20,
group.
T20 match, no?
So better than a
No,
T20 match, to be
match
honest.
is nothing as
the
compared
way
to
it
this.
was happening, we can see
Don't
the
compare your achievement
numbers
with
coming
match.
down, the tilts happening, the rough maneuvers, the fine maneuvers, everything. सब आपके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा था? What was the thought? Yeah, how was that feeling?
See, I must admit you that I'm really fortunate I was thinking like that. I was telling thanks to whoever made me to sit at that moment in that chair as a chairman of ISRO. It's a destiny to be there when the right thing happened.
होता है.
So it's
History
not
में
a
नाम
work
आ
of me
जाता है.
alone. I must say that it is a work of a generational set of people. Leadership prior to me, the
वही तो.
engineers who worked on it for hundreds
वो
of
दूसरे जो थे
hours,
कितना वो रोए
sometimes
थे.
years together. It's a result of a large team effort. The Chandrayaan program itself was a long drawn program in which Chandrayaan-1, Chandrayaan-2, Chandrayaan-3 were involved. Of course, my contribution specifically, of course, is the last phase of that mission where the certain decisions had to be taken to make this mission succeed, which I played my role. But of course, much of the engineering work has been done already by that time. So I'm really fortunate to see the success happening at this moment, and also orchestrate that success to happen. It has a lot of deep learning that is supposed to take place, and I made sure that whatever we need to do for that landing to happen is already done. This was my job as a chair of this organization, to make sure that the errors which we had earlier in Chandrayaan-2 don't happen.
It's a fail-safe
And
mission.
of course, all those discussions were happening earlier, but the completion, its sufficiency, adequacy, the care, the true verification, all have been done to give confidence to all of us. It's not me alone. We take all people along. We have a large community of reviewers, including internally, externally. All of them are taken to confidence before we did that. So I was relaxed at this moment. I know it's going to happen. Because all doubts were settled much before that. Possibly all of you were very anxious for that 20 minutes. I was not.
Wow.
Because I knew
हमें भी
prior
बता
to
देते हैं,
20
बिना
minutes
होते.
itself it's going to land. So there was no doubt about it.
That's the most savage answer. I think it's a sign of a topper, that all the hard work, all the preparation is already done.
Done.
The night before the test is just for a deep sleep.
Precisely, yeah. We do always like that. See, if you have any doubt, I think we should not venture into it. But even after doing all of this, still there can be mistake, there can be errors, there can be failures, which you have to explain later. But we can only say within our minds, we have done what is needed.
So recently, I have clearly noticed, the entire nation has noticed, our Prime Minister is kind of directly involved in a way that he acts as a mentor, as a that support that we want to have. This time around he was in South Africa, came live. You were doing a video conference and you said the line, India is on the moon.
Yeah.
So how big of an impact is it?
See, it has made huge impact. You must realize that the last attempt to land was towards the last phase we could not do. Of course, that is heavily hanging on us. I think you must realize that the pressure on success is very, very high. Expectations are very high. And we didn't want to hide the whole thing from the nation. We wanted to be very transparent to the nation. We made sure that we tell the truth to the people. Yes, we had a problem last time. We had such and such anomaly, which had such and such issues, and we have overcome this through such a measure. So everything is in front of the public, and we are live telecasting it. No?
Yes.
So when you do that, it is natural for our Honorable Prime Minister to be part of our journey. He shows his confidence.
Yes.
If he is not confident, he will not take it that his decision to come on board and then see that on live. I believe that our confidence has definitely been transmitted to him in whatever way we can, and he was with us. I think we must thank Honorable Prime Minister for the confidence he has shown us. He could have doubted us,
Especially जब पहली failure हुई
thank you
थी.
so much for that honor that you have given me. It is more than congratulation after successful landing. It is prior to that he has given you the confidence. I think for that I have
पूरा उस टाइम भी वो भी
belief.
बैठे
Yeah,
थे
belief.
आके जैसे हम देख रहे थे.
So, just a curiosity. The Indian National Committee for Space Research started 1962.
ओह वो पाकिस्तान के
15th
साथ.
of August 1969, we had ISRO.
Yes.
Just for a comparison, although there is no comparison, but in Pakistan, Suparco started 1961,
NASA
year
से
before
compare करो यार.
India started
China
the
का कर
space
लो.
research program. Today, there's no match. There's no comparison
We should
at all.
not be talking about them.
What's the special sauce that you believe, okay, in India, we definitely have tons of talent. We are emotionally driven. It's a national service that I can say. But altogether, what makes ISRO special?
I believe it has to do with the legacy of leadership. It's very important for any organization from the early phase of the organization formation to certain maturity level you attain, you need to have great leaders. We were very fortunate to have been served by leaders like Sarabhai, Bhabha in the early part, later by Sadish Dhawan. I think these three names are very important. And they set the culture of the organization. The culture of the organization was very not a pyramidal structure, it was more of a flat organization. And we are a civilian organization. These two things are very important. Civilian means that our space program is driven for serving Indians for their societal and social needs, administrative need, governance. The narrative that we were used to give at that time in ISRO was more of social solutions that need to be addressed through the space. And Sarabhai himself made it very, very clear. And he even talked about not to showcase it as an exploration, going to moon, Mars, etc. Not the priority at that point in time. So that made certain cultural definition about it. Second is it was like a structure that we created internally. It was scientific, technological structure. It was not a bureaucratic structure, a flat organization. When I meant we created a culture here where there is an openness for everything. Whoever wants to do something, he is allowed to do. Who can question my seniors? Even when I joined a youngster, I had the freedom to question my seniors. If I am not happy with it, I can stand up and ask a question in a forum. Who are you? That will never be heard. You will be asked to answer. So it creates a place for you to learn, improve, and those who come in get inspired. So if you are able to create an organization which is an inspirational organization, you don't have to give them anything more than that. No, it will create by itself. So I believe the leadership that came, I think many names, if you would have read it across the history of ISRO, there are hundreds of people who were inspirational leaders. Some of them you wouldn't have even read about it, but I know personally many of them. My boss, immediate post Ramakrishna, you wouldn't have read a book about him. But I know how inspirational he was to me, to mentor me to this level. You would have seen about Dr. Radhakrishnan, the chairman, who mentored me at the last phase. So each of us take a responsibility to mentor at least 10 of my people. So I do that for my downstream people. I mentor them, I help them to grow to different layers of leadership. And this keeps them on a high spirit.
Yes.
You don't have to give anything beyond that point.
So I think it's providing the right playground.
Of course, the infrastructure, technology, knowledge, etc. are important. But more than that, for an organization like this, it is an inspiration element which is important. You must feel happy of doing things. Every day morning you get up from your bed and see, I want to go to office. It becomes a priority for you.
You are charged.
You are charged.
Yeah.
You're excited for your work.
Sir,
and if it becomes a burden for you, you will not do anything.
Sir, आपने inspiration जो word use किया है ना, I think right now India is inspiring everyone globally. In a like layman's term, if I were to ask you, we finally made it. We are the first country to reach the south region of moon. How big is it as a positioning globally, if I ask you? Because एक आम आदमी अगर पूछता है तो हम चांद पे पहुंचे, बहुत अच्छा काम हुआ, बट उसका कितना बड़ा सिग्निफिकेंस है इन द ग्लोबल स्पेस डोमेन से?
फॉर आम आदमी को तो बढ़िया अचीवमेंट है. सी गोइंग टू मून, लैंडिंग देयर, बीइंग द फोर्थ नेशन इन द वर्ल्ड टू डू सो, इट्स अ ग्रेट थिंग, नो डाउट अबाउट इट for a common person. But then you can always ask a question. This has been accomplished by US many years back, 40 years back, they did it. You are only repeating it. So technologically, is it superior accomplishment? Question can be raised. It's a valid question. Russians did it many times. So technologically, of course, I don't think that it is something that was unsurmountable by the scale of it. But even for them today to land, there is still a challenge. Let us not forget about the fact that it was also evidenced by the fact that Luna 25 had a crash landing just prior to us. So that means going to moon and landing continues to remain as a huge challenge technologically, even though it was accomplished 40 years back. So that remains in the background. So technologically, algorithmically, see technology is one part of it. Planning, doing is yet another part. It's a thought process that takes you to there. It's not the computers or electronics that take you there.
You just press a button and
it doesn't happen like that. It happens by the proper thinking process, proper algorithm development, proper planning, engineering, and also algorithmic. I must use that word only. So that brilliance is there in our system. that is evidence to the people outside. Now Indians can do it.
Yeah.
See, there are people in India who are competent enough to imagine and do it.
Correct.
It is not a small thing. So, though electronics, engineering, propulsion, technology, material science, etc., are only ancillary elements that will make it.
Yes.
But if you do not have the manpower, the people who can dream about it, plan about it, the way to go there, all of these are secondary issues.
Sir, I think I should add, Indians can do it, and Indians can do it efficiently.
बहुत मज़ेदार है, फैंटास्टिक. जिस तरह से ना लर्नड पीपल को सुनते हुए यू रियली इंजॉय लिसनिंग टू देम. और आपको ये डिफरेंस दिखेगा जो कई हम वीडियोस करते हैं जिसमें दिमाग से पैदल लोग बात करते हैं, और एक ये डिफरेंस देखो कि ये जब कोई समझदार लर्नड पर्सन इतनी हाई पोस्ट का जो है जब बात कर रहा है. बहुत ही अच्छा उन्होंने बताया और कमाल था. ही वॉज कॉन्फिडेंट. वो कह रहे हैं कि वो जो लास्ट के 20 थे मिनट्स या वो, तब आप लोगों को घबराहट हो रही थी, हमें नहीं हो रही थी, कि हमने सब कुछ कर चुके थे.
आपने एग्जाम दिए,
वही तो हमें पता है, बहुत रेडी हैं अब, इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं हो सकता. हमने 100%
कर
किया.
ली. पूरी मेहनत के बाद जब एग्जाम देते हैं तो आपको डर नहीं लग रहा होता.
मेरे को आता है सब कुछ, पूछ लो जो पूछना है. वो हालत थी.
कई चीजें हो सकता है आपको नहीं आती, मगर फिर भी आपको पता है कि
हमने बेस्ट कर
जितना
दिया.
मैंने किया उससे ज्यादा बहुत ही अनलाइकली है किसी और ने किया
करना
होगा.
हो.
अगर तुम्हारा खराब हो रहा है तो दूसरे का और भी ज्यादा खराब होने वाला है. तो आप उस कॉन्फिडेंस से जाते हैं और जब करके आते हैं देन यू आर हैप्पी. आपको पता होता है कि अच्छा हुआ है. तो वही से ये मेहनत का है कि उन्होंने यही बोला, मेहनत कर ली, उसके बाद और कुछ नहीं कर सकते. उन्होंने बोला अगर कुछ भी एरर हो सकती है, प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है, उससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कर सकते. इतना करना था कर लिया. प्रॉब्लम जो पहले एरर आई थी उन सबको रिजॉल्व कर लिया. और दूसरा बोले सिविलियन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का मतलब ये है कि लोगों के सामने रख दिया, भाई ये प्रॉब्लम्स आई थी, ये करने वाले हैं, सब सामने है, सब लाइव हो रहा है, सब बढ़िया हो रहा है. और क्या ये डिफिकल्ट था 40 साल पहले अमेरिका ने किया हो, मगर आज भी डिफिकल्ट है सबके लिए. वही कह रहे हैं,
वही तो बताया
कि ठीक है
रशिया ने किया था,
आपने अचीव किया, मगर अगर बोलता हूँ आज करिए तो आप फिर करने जाएंगे इतना आसान नहीं है, फिर भी गलती करके पूरा फट सकता है. तो इट इज़ अ डिफिकल्ट थिंग. और दूसरा बोल रहे हैं द फैक्ट कि इंडिया ने सोचा कुछ करने के लिए और अचीव कर लिया, वो ग्रेटनेस है. इसका मतलब है आगे अगर इंडिया कुछ चाहे तो वो भी अचीव कर सकता है. ये एग्जांपल था दिखाने का पूरे वर्ल्ड को कि जो हमने सोचा है हमने कर लिया. इसका मतलब ये है अगली बार अगर हम कुछ और सोचेंगे तो वो भी कर लेंगे.
बिल्कुल.
और सारा इंडिजिनस है,
बिल्कुल
सब कुछ खुद किया है. अगर खुद इतना कर सकते हैं तो अब आगे भी खुद कर सकते हैं. बहुत जिस तरीके से इसरो जा रहा है उसी तरीके से सारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को जाना चाहिए, इंक्लूडिंग तेजस जो बन रहा है, इंक्लूडिंग आर्मी, इंक्लूडिंग जो रिसर्च हो रही है वेपन्स में. DRDO तो कर ही रहा है. वहाँ पे सब में ऐसा होना चाहिए जैसे इसरो कर रहा है कि इंडिजिनस नहीं हर चीज़ आएगा, एक एक पार्ट भी हमारा होना चाहिए. वेरी नाइस.
बहुत अच्छा था, मज़ा आ गया. तो चलो फ्रेंड्स, शेयर करना अपने थॉट्स. चलते हैं, मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में बहुत ही जल्द. टिल देन टेक केयर एंड बाय बाय.
तो अगर आप मेरे इस चैनल पे नए हो तो जल्दी से सब्सक्राइब के बटन को हिट करो और बेल आइकन को क्लिक करो ताकि आपको मेरा जब नया वीडियो मैं लगाऊं आपको उसके बारे में जल्दी से पता चल जाए.